Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Career Talks by Counsel Co. Today we are doing something different. We have somebody who's an expert in her field, and at the same time she will be addressing the need for maintaining your body health and posture, because that's an important part of your operation and how you optimize your operations. So today we have somebody with us who will throw light on the career of physiotherapy and also will give us useful tips that we can incorporate to keep our body posture and our flexibility in order. Today we have with us Dr. Hemakshi Basu. So welcome Hemakshi to Career Talks.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure.
So Hemakshi, before we begin, can you please let our audience know something about you?
Thank you, Hemangi. This is my first podcast and I'm very happy to be there. To introduce myself, I am Dr. Hemakshi Basu. I'm a consulting musculoskeletal and sports physiotherapist. I have been now in this profession for 30 years and I've done my master's degree in musculoskeletal and manual therapy, which in 1997 was one of the most important subject where you need to palpate. As physios, we do a lot of things with our hands.
Right.
So for us to understand how is the muscle feeling, how is the joint feeling, that's called manual therapy.
Okay.
And that was the best done in Australia. So that's where at University of South Australia is where I did my postgrad from. And I think I always felt that education and treating your patients and doing a job better than what you can ever do was very, very important for me. So I constantly told myself that we need to educate ourselves so that we can do better for our patients. And then I got into some other concepts like McKenzie, which is again a concept-based program which deals only with slip disc, whether it's the neck or the back and things like that. And that's a New Zealand-based concept. So I did that. And then in Australia, Pilates at that time, which now has become so big over here, was just introduced to me, and where I did my mat work and reformer training. But I did it from APPI, which is an Australian-based institute in London, and we also have Balance Body, which is also in London. So that gave me a good package where you can feel the joints and then also understand exercise better, so it helped me treat my patients a lot better. However, you always, that hunger to learn more and being in touch with the new concept, I just felt that we all move a lot, we all do a lot of things, but we're not aware how we do it. Right. And I think that's one of the biggest causes for injuries. So I did a little more study on kinetics and kinematics. Actually, it's called, so I became a movement specialist from this institute called Kinetic Control, again in London, where it helps you analyze and understand movement better and movement impairments better and come to a diagnosis, and helps you prevent either injuries which are not yet occurred or reduces the risk of recurrence. So it helps you move better, feel better. That's their motto. So that's my background, and I've become a tutor for India on their behalf. And when I did my postgrad in Australia, I realized what I had not learnt. Right. Okay, and I always say that I learned how to think, therefore I can understand my patients better. And that's how, when I came back in 1997, I decided to teach. So from there, I think now I've been in the teaching profession since last 28 years now. And I love it. So that's my little history.
That's not your little history, that's quite a lot of history, and varied one at that.
Thank you.
So, first thing that strikes me while listening to you is physiotherapy has a lot of connotations.
It has a lot, and I've just done one part because like I'm dealing with musculoskeletal and sports, but you have cardiac rehab, you have burn, like people who have burn injuries, you have burn, rehabilitation for that. You have chest physiotherapy, so you have hand physiotherapy, you have industrial. So when you have a lot of industrial injuries, like in factories when the people get injured, you have a physio specialty for that. You have pediatric physiotherapist. You have neurological physiotherapist. So when people come to me saying, okay, my child has a neurological problem, or my dad has undergone paralysis.
Right.
But that's not my expertise. So, however, I don't take that up, but we have special people who do that. And I think it's better the specialist takes over than somebody who's just doing things.
Wow. Up till now, the only understanding was that if you can't become a doctor, then you become a physiotherapist.
Yeah, but
true.
now it's true. A lot of people used to do that, and
Right.
I'll talk about it in a bit.
So that is what really interests me, that physiotherapy is taken up as such a, I mean, it's like a broad term that
Yes.
there's a physiotherapy, he does everything.
Yes.
So even like a lot of people don't know the difference between OT, and right now you've given me a long list of specializations
Yes.
that we are not aware of, or
Yes.
children feel that, oh, how can I take up physiotherapy as a career? But when I listen to you,
Right.
I see a field of immense potential,
Absolutely.
and that's continuously evolving.
Absolutely.
So can you throw light on people who are interested in this?
Right.
And I think, what can they actually see physiotherapy as?
Okay, so as you rightly said, initially physiotherapy was a very general term. So we would do, like when I worked many years ago in the hospital, we were always, I would go to the ICU, do cardiac rehab, I would go to the burn section. So as a student, you're learning everything, but then when you specialize, you have a liking. So I would like, hey, like I would love doing neuro patients, but when I started working and I started seeing a lot of musculoskeletal, I realized my strength was that.
Right.
But it also depends upon your teacher, right? So whatever the teacher is good, you love that subject. So as a student, you're doing everything. Even in my days when we started working, we were doing everything. That includes even with orthopedics. So, if you have a neck problem, knee problem, you have a wrist problem, you'll go to one orthopedic. But with evolving time, the physiotherapists have also created that niche of specializing in a certain forte.
Right.
Okay. As even the orthopedics have. So now when somebody asks me, can I go and see a particular doctor, but I have a neck issue? And I said, but he is not a spine specialist. He is more specializing in the shoulder or the wrist. So you rather go to somebody who sees and specializes in that field. So in physio, as much as we have so many areas, we learn everything, and then as a student, what is your interest? Okay, like for me, I love children, but I can't do pediatric physiotherapy because that didn't really interest me. It also takes a lot of time and patience to do. Okay. However, as a physio, you have to be patient, whether you're doing neurological case or you're doing surgical or painful, somebody who's only dealing with pain. So patience is the key for us. It's as you said, it's different variety in different areas, and you choose what you need to do.
Okay. So
have I answered the question?
Yes, I think.
Yes.
So tell me, Hemakshi, for the people who are entering this field right now, with
Right.
your vast amount of experience and with the way you have also been teaching for 28
Yes.
years, what is it that is some advice that you would give to people who want to enter this field?
Okay, so I just love it. It's my happy place, because for me, when I see a patient come and tell me that my pain is gone, or I couldn't take a step and now I can climb stairs, or I couldn't walk but now I can run, it just gives me great thrill, because I just feel, oh, I've done it. So every day is a new day. For students who take it, I think if you're passionate about healing people, there are various ways of healing. This is one of the ways of healing people. Right. So if you're passionate about getting them back and understanding their body, understanding their mental as well as physical state, and being patient to even perform what you need to perform on them and get results, if you're happy doing that, I think it's a great field, because The amount we can do to the patients, I mean, I mean, everybody has a great role to play. Doctors have a great role to play. So I just feel that the doctors can save your life. You give medications, you do everything, but we can add a lot of value and quality to your life. So if you are paralyzed, yes, the doctor has saved you, but I, as a physio or an occupational therapist, will get you to walking and going back to function. And that is the thrill I get. And if you get that same thrill, then this is the best profession for you.
Great. So, being a medical field, there's not a lot that children can do to understand what goes into a physiotherapy, or whether they even want to do it,
Yes.
for that matter. So I think even if like one takes an MBBS course, they know they want to do something in the field of medicine, and
Right.
but they are not aware or exposed, and there are not many opportunities for them to do that.
Right.
Sports physio is coming up in a big way. I mean,
Yes.
everywhere, all
Absolutely.
around the world.
Yes.
Right? So, how does a child sort of explore this interest? Somehow, like, is there any opportunity that, okay, go and speak to somebody or observe somebody's day at work or read up about it?
Yes. So now a lot of kids from schools. So a lot of these schools, like my daughter's school, which is Utpal Sangvi and Jamnabai, what they do is so if they know the parents are in a certain field, they will send their kids to us to see and explore what we do. Yes, it's too early for them, but if the students are being sent, then we educate them with what we are doing. So we'll always spend some time explaining what is physiotherapy, what value we add, and what you need to do to be a physiotherapist, and what are your future prospects. Okay, there is a lot of reading now with Google and everything else. You always have there are lots of ways for you. Counselors also now know, give you different ways of, tell you that, okay, physio can do this, and a medicine can do this, an occupational therapist can do this. So they have lots of places to go for and explore their option. But I think the best option is speak to somebody in the field. I think that's the best option, because then they get the facts right.
Right. So, we've been talking to a lot of people who are from different fields, and they always feel that rather than education, it's a skill set.
It is a skill set, yes.
That you need to develop. So, in the profession of medicine, what is the skill set that anybody needs to develop?
The skill will come if you have the interest and you have the passion to do. In any field, consistency is the key. Right. You cannot give up, okay? It's new, so you're going to explore. Like, we've had people, when we started doing anatomy, with the smell of the cadavers,
right,
people have fainted and said, okay, I'm not going back. You get it? So right, if you have the passion and if you have the vision, what you want to be in the future, and if you're consistently going to explore yourself at every step, and if you stay in the process, I think you will develop the skill.
Okay.
Okay. It is also a very analytical field. Okay, any medicine field is where you have to analyze, you have to go to clinical reasoning process and develop certain skills, whether it's physical, whether it's mental. Right. So all these skills come as you learn the subject.
Right. Oh, that's great. Okay, Hemakshi, let me tell you something from the time when you studied to right now. We have AI and tech that is really coming up. And it's there in all fields, okay? So, is the impact of AI or technology high in your field? Or is it something that assists you in your work to make it easier?
Okay, let me just go a little back. Like when I started physio, people didn't even know what physiotherapy was, right? And they say, why are you getting into physiotherapy? It's only exercise and massage. And that was, I'm talking about 35 years ago.
Right.
Now, as it's evolved, as the skill has also evolved, people have understood why we need physiotherapy. So you have a muscle pain, you have headaches, you have any surgery, post-surgery recovery, you need a physiotherapist. As this has evolved, COVID came in, and that changed a lot, right?
Right.
So COVID made us understand, like earlier I felt I have to feel the patient. Yes, it's important to feel the patient, but COVID also made me understand that if I had to do an online session, it was easy for me to do. Yes, it's not the same, but it is definitely delivered results what I wanted to deliver for my patients. AI now coming into the picture, it has definitely impacted the physio world, but it has made certain differences in certain areas. Like I'll give you example, because of AI, when you have AI, it helps you in early diagnosis, and it helps you in injury prevention. Okay, so or injury detection to start off with. So they have these certain tools where they can monitor the movements, they can monitor the biomechanics, they can monitor how you're bending and squatting and things like that. And once they identify where you're going wrong in your biomechanics, they will then tell you, okay, these are the areas where you're going to get injury, and this is your diagnosis, which we do in person.
Right.
In India, so far, it's not, I don't know whether we are really doing that, but I think in countries like Germany and all, they've already started doing that. So it helps us faster. The other area what they've done is they will have started to plan a treatment program for the diagnosis they made. So because now they have an access to patient data, they'll have an access to the patient's history, their mechanism of injury, then it will quickly jot down, okay, these are the exercises you have to do. So they'll optimize, they pick up the best exercises for you, and they'll say, okay, this is what you have to do. So that's what they've started becoming. The third aspect, I felt that they have also, they have these computer vision tools. So they do a lot of remote rehabilitation. So what we did online,
Right.
they will do it online through the computer, and they can see that how well are you exercising. Where are you going wrong? They'll identify the mistakes, and then they will also tell you real-time feedback on how you have performed the exercise and how much time you will take to recover. Okay, even in administrative skills. So, you know, obviously the computer will identify the billing, will appointments, everything is all done through AI,
Right.
becomes life easier. Okay, and I think now even with education and training programs, so they have these virtual patients, and they'll have these virtual tutors.
Okay.
And so that the students can learn from those virtual patients and practice their techniques. Now,
Right.
because it's AI, you do it at your time. You don't have to go to an institute.
Right.
I mean, both has its pros and cons, but I think it's evolving. I don't know how much in our country we've yet used it, but abroad, yes, they've started to do that.
Okay. So will it replace physiotherapists? I mean, I'm just, when you talk about all this,
I think AI
can't replace.
AI can replace anybody, but at the end of the day, I feel you need people, otherwise there will be, I just feel that when I am seeing the patient, if I have to do something physically for the patient, I need to be in person. I think it will assist me. Like if I don't want to waste time into admin work, into billing work, I think AI is great.
Right.
But as a professional, I would love to be with the patient than to be online, because our field, as physiotherapy is called, is a lot to do with touch, kinesthetic.
Okay.
So it's visual, it's kinesthetic, it's auditory. I need to listen to what you say. I need to see how you are sitting, your postures, how you move, and I need to feel everything what you are complaining about. So I would want to be there. I don't know whether it's going to get replaced. We'll see.
Okay. I have just one small question for you with regards to physiotherapy as a career. What are the emerging fields in physiotherapy?
What do you mean by that?
So, for example, like you would say that, okay, there's a lot of scope for neuro therapy.
Right.
Or there's a lot of scope for sports therapy.
Right.
Or,
Right. So, emerging can be any fields, because people do get cardiac issues, get heart attacks post surgery, so you need a cardiac physiotherapist. People get strokes, people get paralysis, people get lots of neurological issues. You need a neurophysiotherapist. Sports being one of the topmost right now, because sports have evolved in our country. So earlier nobody would get into sports physiotherapy, but now everybody wants to get into it, because it's evolved to a level nationally, internationally, all over the world, and it's very lucrative. So I guess that's one of the most evolving. But kids who have mental and physical issues, you need a specialist physiotherapist dealing with pediatric physiotherapy. So there are various, like I mentioned earlier, which are there, which is what you can be. You choose what you want to be and what is your field of interest. Besides physio, I think there's a lot more they can also do. Is you can get into research. Okay, now this is if you don't want to do clinical work. So besides clinical work, you can be a researcher, where you can write papers, you can research certain things which you want to, get into. So that is one. You can become get into academics. So you can become a professor, teacher, and research and academics go well hand in hand. Okay. You can get into, like I said, sports physio is one of the evolving one which is there. Again, coming back to tele physiotherapy, so online physio, digital physiotherapy is all evolving, besides being into clinical practice. So this is all what you can do differently if you don't want to do clinical practice. You also have other professions, like other aspects, like which is non-clinical, like get into marketing, get into actually managing and managing physio clinics. Or like if you come and tell me, I want to set up a physio clinic, okay, will you do that for me? Because being a physiotherapist, I'll understand the nitty-gritty of the clinic. So I can be where I can set up a physio clinic for you. So I can even get into, I can get into, like now digital is big. So you can only work online and manage that. So
that's amazing. That comes to another aspect of it completely, and I understand that the field per se has a lot of scope, but you brought forward something that digital, okay, and most of us are always on our computers or laptops, even children nowadays, or tablets, be it any kind of a media, and our postures go for a toss.
Absolutely.
Right. And I think you must have also observed that the people with cervical issues and spine issues is increasing day by day.
Absolutely. Post-COVID, exponentially.
So tell me, what causes this and what should one be aware? Because tech or using computers is not an option.
Yes, it's not an option. You have to. Right. Yeah. So, because we are so involved, and compared to old times where you used to do a lot of outdoor activities and used to go and travel to work and come back, now with COVID you're also getting a lot of hybrid models where you'll do half work from home and half in office. So when you're at home, you're not in the best ergonomic state. Where in office also, when you're working long hours, you start off the day with great postures, but then you slide into worst postures. Like now, sitting is the new smoking for your back, okay, for your spine. So if you sit for long hours, you're going to get it. So all we need to do is, sitting, if you're living on this planet, not sitting is not an option. You have to sit. So if you're going to sit, you can always get out of the posture. So I always tell people, do it for 5 hours, but break every half an hour, 40 minutes, max an hour, and move. So move, stretch, breathe, hydrate. That's what you need, because you're so much involved into it that you forget to drink water. You forget to move from that space. And because you've been in that wrong postures, abnormal loading on a normal tissue is bound to give you an injury.
Okay.
You get it? So another interesting thing is when I tell people to stretch, they're sitting for long hours in slouch postures, then they'll stretch forward bending. I was like, okay, you can't do that. You're already in that posture. You have to go in the opposite direction. So stretch backwards. Stretch, open up your arms, open up your chest. You're constantly in this position. Move your neck back. Get up, stretch your back backwards, turn, rotate. Let the spine, let the joints hydrate. Movement is hydration to the joint.
Right.
As much as drinking water is also very important. So small stretches, simple stretches, stretching your calves, stretching your hands, stretching your neck in the direction opposite to what you already are is the best thing you can do.
Okay, and what about this?
Yes.
Because your hands are gone for a toss. They actually cannot even write the way we used to write a long time ago.
Yes.
They've lost that.
I completely agree because you're constantly typing.
Right.
I always feel you are doing this. Stretch. Open. Close. Do these little different things which will help you mobilize your joints and improve circulation. So the nutrition to your joint is movement. Okay. Like I always tell my patients that you eat lunch and dinner, you eat even breakfast and a snack. All you need to do is exercise 10 minutes twice a day, like your lunch and dinner. So as much as your food and nutrition is important for your body, moving is important, and that's the nutrition to your joints.
Okay. So Hemakshi, that's great, and I think we have had a very broad perspective and I was not aware of 3/4 of these fields that you've opened up today. So I understand that our audience now has a much clearer understanding of the need to move in the opposite direction, that
Yes.
too, as well as understanding that physiotherapy is a very broad term. There is a lot of speciality. It's a field that you would pursue with patience if you have a passion for it, and always explore your passions before you jump into it.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much, Hemakshi, for being here with us today and opening up this Aspara. And we all look forward to your comments or your doubts if you have any. So do write into us and we'll surely get back to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Hemakshi.
Thank you.